Sridharaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim. In the last class, held on almost 4 months before 24th July, we discussed verses 11, 12 and 13 of this chapter 8 called Akshara Parabrahma Yoga. There we learnt Sri Krishna told us the means, praptyupaya, to attain the Supreme Brahman, which was called Akshara. Secondly, what he told was withdrawing the senses and mind from external objects, fixing the prana between the eyebrows, repeating Om, which is Brahman's symbol, Pratika, as well as name, Vachaka, thinking of Sri Krishna himself as an expression of that Supreme Brahman. He who departs leaving the body attains the Supreme Being itself. So this was the teaching we learned from that class. Today we shall start from where we had left, from verse number 14, which states that this remembrance of God at the last moment cannot come without daily practice. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityashaha tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yoginaha. So that is the sloka we are going to start today. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityashaha tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yoginaha. Yomam nityashaha satatam ananya chetaha smarati. This speaks about the bhakti yogin, he who has intense love for God, how he thinks about God. So this person, yogi, is called the yogi, the person whose mind is concentrated on God alone. Nityashaha smarati, he daily thinks about God. Just as we think about daily about the world, so daily he thinks about God, Nityashaha. And Satatam, in daily means every day. Every day, how long does he think about God? Satatam, continuously. So all the 24 hours a day and all the 30 days in a month, all the 365 days in a year, so he is thinking about God. So his mind does not go anywhere at all. Ananya cheta. So he is called a person whose mind does not go to anything else other than God. So such a one-pointed minded person who thinks about God daily and without break during every day. So such a person, tasya, to him, aham sulabha, I am very easily obtained by him. I am very easily realized by him. Tasyaham sulabha. He attains to me very easily. Because when we think about a thing, we acquire the qualities of a thing. This is the very nature of yoga. In yoga, we think of, it says the mind has got the quality of acquiring the quality of the dhyaya vastu, the object that is contemplated upon. Suppose I think of a noble person, I will also become more and more noble. If I think of a saintly person, I will also slowly become a saintly person. On the other way, suppose I think of a wicked person, quite possible, so I will also become perhaps more wicked than that fellow. I will add something more to it also. So, the mind has got the tendency of acquiring the qualities of the object contemplated upon. So we must be very careful, that is why, about our mind. If we think about good things, slowly we ourselves become good. If we think about bad things, slowly we also tend to become bad. So a person who thinks continuously about God in every day and months after month, year after year, so that his mind has become completely concentrated on God. So naturally, he will imbibe all the qualities of God. What are the qualities of God? Qualities of God mainly are, God has no fear at all. He becomes absolutely fearless. A saintly man has no fear at all. So when we read the life of Vivekananda, the first thing we learn is this person had no fear at all, absolutely. Then we read the life of all the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Nobody had any fear of life or death. They were not afraid of tribulations, difficulties in life, nor were they afraid of death also. So absolute fearlessness will come. Fearlessness comes because he knows that he is immortal. He has no death. He is Atman. So I am Atman, I am a child of God. I am God himself. This idea, when it goes deep into it, naturally he has no fear. We think we are our bodies, therefore we are afraid our body will die. Certainly it will die. So we are always thinking, I will die, therefore we are afraid. People are afraid of only one fear, and that one fear is the fear of death. You can say, oh no, we have got hundreds of fears. All the fears stem from this one idea that I may end up in death. So suppose somebody says, a child is asked, why do you want to brush teeth? Oh, if I don't brush the teeth will become, the gums will become bad, teeth will become bad. So what will happen if the teeth becomes bad? Oh, then mouth will smell, and then afterwards I may get some disease germs will go. Let the disease come, what does it matter? No, Swami, I may die also. It will finally go into that point. So the being afraid of death only, we want to clean ourselves, we want to keep our teeth clean, we want to have a good health, we want to protect ourselves from cold and heat. All the finally is, I am a body, so I may die if I don't protect it. So this idea of death always follows us. So this mrityuna aptam in Upanishad, he said this whole world is possessed by death, as it were. So death follows, stalks around everywhere. That is why many people are afraid to talk about death also, because it is next door, it is next standing by. If you talk, it may jump upon you. That's why don't talk about death. If you don't talk about that, it is there, it is standing behind you. So this death idea goes away from a spiritual man, because he thinks, I am immortal. This is the quality of God. God is fearless. Abhayam vai tad brahma. Janaka was taught. Janaka was taught by Yajnavalkya. Abhayam vai tad brahma. Janaka praptosi. Oh Janaka, you have attained that fearless Brahman. Brahman is always fearless. Swamiji also always preached fearless, because he preached Atman. No, you are the Atman. Every potentiality is in you. Everything you can achieve. Don't be afraid of anything. So all this fearlessness will come with the idea that I am the spiritual being, I am the Atman, I am not the body. So this comes by contemplating on God. We contemplate on God, and how does we become fearless? God and we are not different. This is where we have to accept that Advaita is there in our life. Whether I call myself an Advaitin or not, we are all Advaitins, because God is in us and we are in God. We are one with God. You cannot be separate from Him. When you think of God as fearless, you are indirectly thinking that you are also fearless. Whichever bhakta has been there, he has realized God as Krishna or Shiva or Devi, he has also become fearless. How? Because Devi is not different from him. He thinks Shiva is always with me. I am in Shiva. So how can I be affected by anything? He is also fearless. The bhakta, the jnani, everyone, they think of Brahman in some way or other, they acquire the nature of Brahman. So this devotee, Ananya Chetaha, with one-pointed mind, continuously dwelling upon God every day and for all his life, Tasyaham Sulabhaha. So I am very easily attained by him. He becomes a God-realized person. He attains to the Godhood very easily with anayasena, without any effort. Naturally, he feels always. Whenever you call him, he thinks, oh, there is nothing to fear. Our Mahapurush Maharaj was very ill in the last days of his life. He had very serious asthma. As the president of the order, the other brahmacharis assistants were all very much worried. One day, one whole night he did not sleep at all due to suffocation. So early morning they called in the doctor. Doctor entered his room and naturally doctor greeted him. Sir, how are you? I am perfectly all right, he said. What? The whole night you have not slept and you did not have a breath of air inside your lung, and that's why they have called me in the early morning. I have come here. You say you are all right. Then Mahapurush Maharaj thought for a while. What is he telling? Oh, you mean this body? He asked. Yes, yes. Body is suffering very much. I am perfectly all right. He knows fully well that he is the Atman. He is not the body. So he had to be told, your body is all right or not. Then he will tell the correct answer. If you say, how are you? I am perfectly all right. That is the straight answer. Every one of us must be able to tell that. We are all under sort of an illusion that we are the body. So even when we ask about your spiritual welfare, you start telling your physical ailments. We go and meet our friend. நல்லா இருக்கதானே அப்படின்னா இல்லை சார் ஜுரம் வந்துடுத்து, செளி வந்தது, அவளுக்கு என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, எனக்கு ஒன்றும் ஆகலை, அவளுக்கு என்ன ஆச்சு, பக்கத்து வீட்டில் all the physical ailments they tell. We are so much obsessed by the physical things. We think we are physical beings, the whole world is physical only. So here he says, when we meditate on God, we become spiritual. We become part and parcel of God. God is fearless because he is the infinite spirit. We also are the infinite spirit. God is full of bliss and love and joy. We are also bliss and love and joy in an infinite measure. And God is all powerful because he is all knowing. We are also all knowing and all powerful because we are children of God. We imbibe that. So all the qualities of God come to us. That means we become ourselves godly and God is always with us. This feeling comes into us. This is the attainment of God. Feeling God 24 hours as his presence within us. Tasyaham sulabhaha. I am very easily attained by him. That means he always feels my presence inside himself and he feels that I am protecting him always. And I also feel him, my presence with him always. Tasyaham sulabhaha. I am very easily attained by him. Why? The reason is Nitya Yuktasya Yoginaha. Because his mind, Nitya Yuktaha, ever restrained and staying on God alone. Nitya Yoga. By attaching his mind always with God, so he has become the yogi. So such a person, he attains to God very easily. That means even at the last moment also, he will be uttering the name of God, thinking about the name of God or thinking about God himself. Then he leaves his body and becomes one with God himself. And it means, what does that mean? He attains. A person who meditates on God day in and day out, he himself becomes godly. He feels the presence of God. And naturally, even at the last moment, he will take the name of God. And then he will become one with him after he leaves the body. And this happens to only such devotees who take the trouble of training their mind to think of God as much as possible. We might not be able to think as he all the day, all the hours of the day, all the days of the week, all the months of the year. So we may not be able to do that. We can do as much as we can. We can in a day at least 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours we can think. If we cannot do it, at least 2 hours we can think, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. To start with, we can even start with 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. So everyone can, by slow efforts, gradual efforts, can attain to this state. Na anyasya aham sulabha. It means that for others who do not practice like this, how can they easily take my name at the last moment? When we are quite happy, then itself we don't think about God means. When we are in difficulty, will we think about God? When we are in difficulty, we only curse God. So we never think about Him as our protector, as the benefactor of us. So we have to practice little by little, so that continuity of thought about God, just as we think about our own physical things. We never forget our home, we never forget our relatives, we never forget our other possessions. Why? Because we constantly think about it. Similarly, God also is a possession. God is our own. He is there in our home. He is one among the three. Nowadays the family of three is there. So one is there. Without their knowledge, he is also sitting there. Fourth is there. So you must become aware of him. You might not create a sannidhi for him, a place where you go and worship. He will make his own sannidhi. Where there is some empty space, he will go and sit there. So you cannot run away from God. Fourth person is there. So this fourth person, if you go on thinking about we are three, plus one is there. God also is there. When you go on thinking you have got in a family four, then that will get deep into your psyche. Then whenever you think about three, the fourth also will come. This is how we identify ourselves with God through some relation. Sri Ramakrishna was very particular. How to think about God always means, how do you think about your father or mother, or husband or wife, or children? They are mine, they are mine, they are mine. So I am related to them in such a way. I am the grandmother, I am the mother. We relate ourselves to the object which we love, and mind flows. Whenever we call something as mine, the mind flows in a stream of love. This mine is the principle, is the mantra which generates love in us. Anything I call mine, I love. Anything I don't call mine, I don't love. And sometimes I hate also. So the idea of identifying ourselves with others in some way as calling them mine. If you don't call them, he is my own brother, call him at least he is my mama, or at least he is my mama's mama. Some my must come. My mama's mama, my mama's mama's mama. Some relation when it comes, he will become a special person. Then he is disidentified with the crowd. You take him out of the crowd and attach yourself to him. This is the relationship. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, devotees must establish relationship with God. Some relation. Call God as father or mother or friend or protector or person who gives you education or a person who is taking care of you when you are in difficulty as a sort of an insurance agent. Anyway, you connect yourself to God. Always think about him. Oh, he is there. This relationship attracts the mind, puts the mind to God. So through that, if you go on thinking about God, perhaps to start with an hour a day, later on 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, a time will come over the long life, you become completely attached to God. Without thinking about him, no day will go. Maybe for an hour or two you may forget, but suddenly you remember. You see, yesterday I remembered for 4 hours, today only 2 hours I remembered. No, I must remember another 2 hours. You yourself become aware that you have not something done which you should have done. So this idea of gradual practice will give us that glorious opportunity of becoming one with God, becoming ourselves God, imbibing all the qualities of God, of infinite life, infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite love, infinite joy. This is what we want. We want in life love and joy. We want in our life power and knowledge. We want in life the infinite life and fearlessness. If we get it, we have got everything. That is what we call as moksha. Moksha is getting freedom from this fear of death. You get free from this fear of death. That is moksha. We always are feeling we are weak, we have no power. When you feel I have got infinite knowledge and infinite power, you get out of this weakness. No weakness will be there. Atmaiva hi prabhavati na jadak kadachit. Atman is the living being, the conscious being. He is the master of everything that is there, which is all only matter. Atman is the spirit. Atman is consciousness. Consciousness rules the matter, never the other way around. One man can rule, say, some 25 or 30 animals. It may be cow or it may be horse, it may be anything. But 30 horses will obey him. No, because that horses are almost like jada, like matter. It has no brain at all. It is just like a machine. So one man can control all of them. Who is more intelligent? Consciousness means this infinite consciousness of Atman can control the whole universe. All the universe of matter must come and fall under the feet of this consciousness, the Atman. So Swamiji used to say, Atmaiva hi prabhavati. The Atman alone will succeed. Na jadaha kadachit. Matter can never succeed over the consciousness. Consciousness always will conquer and rule. So when this ruling power comes, all the fear leaves us. The fear goes away because we are immortal. Fear leaves because we have got infinite power. And fear leaves because we always love everybody. Everybody also must love us. A person who loves everyone will be loved by the others also. Yesterday I was traveling by the train. So by my side one small baby was there. That is only at 2 years or 2.5 years, some baby girl. That I was just trying to read my book. That baby, Tata, she will go and call me. Then I looked at her and she smiles. Enchanting smile. I kept the book out. I smiled. Again she smiles. Again I smiled. We went on smiling with one another. All the compartment people, they also got up. They didn't care, who is this child? So everybody is with that child. One child, she infuses that love into the whole compartment. Wherever she goes, there is a big crowd. A small child. How does that power comes to us? Swamiji always used to refer, lead like a child. The child did not want everybody to follow her. Everybody followed her. Just because she loved. And she was ready to distribute her love to others without any discrimination. She never knew me, but she calls me Tata. She will not leave by my side. She will not allow me to read. As if, I am her Tata in her house from the birth. That little child, that infinite love of the consciousness, it expresses itself. When it expresses, nobody can resist it. When saintly people come, you can't hate them. You become a sort of a follower to them at the very first sight. So this nature, by this nature, we become God-like. This is attaining to God. Moksha is freedom. Muchi. Muchi means to get free. Get free from what? Get freedom from our ahankara. From ahankara, the raga, dvesha comes. All our likes and dislikes come. When I think, I am an individual. I don't belong to anybody. I am separate. The individuality, when we think about it, this ahankara comes, then we develop likes and dislikes. Raga, dvesha. This whole life is full of either likes or dislikes. We are afraid of things which we dislike. We are attracted to things that we like, which we may not get. We run behind things which we do not get. We hate things that are just beside because I don't like it. So with the result, whole life goes, it's raga, dvesha, abhiniveshaha. We are attached to our life, which is full of likes and dislikes. We are tossed up and down. Our whole life moves like that. So we get out of this ahankara. In moksha means, I don't think I am an individual at all. I am one with God. So is the whole world with God. I am a child of God. Everyone is the child of God. So this idea, when it comes, you become identified with others. As I said, whenever we get identified, when I say this is so and so is mine, then I love him. So this love comes with the idea of identification of others. the greatest identification, most natural identification is through the consciousness that we are one with everyone, because we are children of God. So, tasyaham sulabha. So God says that a person who thinks always about me, he imbibes the qualities of me, he becomes very much like me and very easily thinks about me. Even at the time of death, he becomes one with me. That means he realizes me, he attains to moksha. Na anyasya, to any other person who is other than like him, it is difficult to attain to God. With great difficulty he will be struggling for half an hour or 1 hour during when he is all right. At the last moment of what life comes, at that time he will completely forget everything. He may be thinking about only some worldly things. With the result, he will get into another worldly body, another worldly existence. The whole rigmarole will continue. So endless life and death will go, a chain. So the cycle of life and death cannot be broken by a person who does not bring in God as his own. So here Sri Krishna said, the Bhakti Yogi who thinks about God continuously by constant practice, he attains to me very easily because his mind is always united to me and he has himself become part and parcel of me, imbibing all my divine qualities of infinite life, infinite joy, infinite knowledge and infinite bliss. So he has himself become an infinite being. So, yadyapyevam tvam sulabhosi tatakimata. What will matter? What follows when once we identify ourselves with God, think about Him constantly? So Sri Krishna says in the next sloka, Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramangataha. What do we attain by constantly thinking about God? Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam na apnuvanti. Mahatmanaha means these people, great souled persons. Mahatma, Mahan Atma. So their Atma has become big. Big means it has got identified with everybody's Atma. They feel one with everyone because God is one with everyone. They have become one with God. So they have become one with everyone. So when we begin to think, we are part and parcel of an ocean. I am a bubble. So I think, oh, what does it matter? I may be bubble, but below me, as my support, I have got the big ocean. I am a child of the ocean. The moment I think I am a child of the ocean, I find the millions and millions of bubbles all around me. They are all also part of the ocean. So I get connected to them through the ocean. So all the bubbles stand in the same relation to God as I do. When I say I belong to God, I have no fear. Immediately the idea comes, everyone is also like that. Everyone is connected to the ocean. They are also bubbles. So all these bubbles, as bubbles, we are part of that infinite ocean. So we are all related to one another through God. So this idea, when it comes, then all the joylessness, the sorrow will leave us. So Sri Krishna says here, when one thinks about God in the end, one realizes me. So the question arose, what if when they attain, if they attain you, what will happen to them? What will happen to that soul which has attained to God? Here Krishna says, Mam upetya, attaining to me, dukkhalayam ashashvatam punarjanma mahatmanaha na apnuvanti. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam punarjanma. They do not get the punarjanma, reincarnation, rebirth. When once they attain to God, they are no more coming into this earth to enjoy the good and the bad, because there is no karma left. Only when karma is there, we have done something good, something bad. So we want to enjoy the fruits of it. We don't want to enjoy the fruits of our bad karma. We want to enjoy only the fruits of the good karma. But the rule is, you want karma means you must take both good and bad. If you open an account in a bank, you are eligible for both credit balance and debit balance. So if you deposit, you will get a credit balance. If you withdraw, there will be a debit balance. So when you have a bank account, both will be there. Otherwise, you are not operating the account at all. So you have become a Mukta Purusha. If you are an ordinary Jiva with a bank account, you will see so many credit and debit balances are there. You put inside money, you have taken out money, put inside. The total, what have you done? If your credit balance is more, he says, this is a good person. He has got something in his credit. If it is the other way around, everybody will be afraid of it. So this fellow, he may try to tamper with other people's accounts because he has got a debit balance there. Debit balance is the bad karma and credit balance is our good karma. As long as you have got a bank account, bank will send a list to you, list of your balance every month, account balance, you have got so much in credit. If you got debit also, they will send. You have got so much of debit with you. Why do they send? So if credit is there, I don't require, because I don't have to pay anything. He said, no, it is their duty. You must take your credit also. You must be responsible for your debit also. Similarly, we are responsible for both our good and bad action. If you say, I want the fruits of my good action, then the bad action also will come. It is part and parcel. So, if whatever you have done, you take the whole of it or resign the whole thing to God. Tell God, I don't want this karma at all. Both good also and bad also. God says, all right, you go. Close down the account. No problem at all. No deposit, no withdrawal. No problem at all. You stand on your own. Whatever you earn, you spend. No putting into bank at all. Once upon a time, people were afraid of banks. They thought the bank fellows will run away with their money. Especially in the rural areas, they would never deposit into a bank. Because one or two banks, they cheated them and went away. The whole state got prejudiced against the bank. I was for some time in Meghalaya, the tribal area. There I used to hear now and then, Swami, that house got into a fire and the whole house got burnt, and there they found they have accumulated about 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs rupees of currency. All that also got burnt. I said, why did they keep all the currency? Because they don't have any faith in bank. So earlier somebody cheated them. The whole tribal people in Meghalaya, they stopped depositing it to banks. Everything will be at their home. And that home is all made of bamboo and wood. So it catches fire means all 40 lakhs are burnt, finished. So this is the bank balance. If you close down, keep all the money with you. And if something happens, the whole thing will be gone. So a Mukta Purusha stands on his own. He doesn't want bad karma or good karma. Because all that he wants, what do we do with our bad and good karma? I want a little joy, I want a little. In the meanwhile, I will get some sorrow also. But when you go to God, you get only joy, no sorrow at all. Because he is an infinite source of all joy. So a person of God realization, he gets always joy and joy. So he doesn't want any karma for him. So I don't want any karma. Whatever I do, I will serve and then offer it to you. So a devotee, he does his karma and offer the fruits of this action, whether it is good or bad. God decides which is good, which is bad. Whatever you have given me, the duties you have given, I have done it. Whether good comes of it, that is also yours. Whether bad comes, that also is yours. If I say that, then what remains to me? I get only the grace of God. I get only the love of God. And through His love, through His grace, I will be always in eternal joy. So that is why the Punarjanma, that means the rebirth. Rebirth takes place because of our karma. The karma is of two kinds, the Papa and Punya. And Papa will produce the unhappiness, sorrow. Punya will produce joy. So our life is by waves, joy and sorrow, joy and sorrow. Our karmas, good and bad, go on fructifying. So it is called Dukkhalaya. We always forget our joys. We remember all our sorrows. If anybody you ask a mature person of 50 or 60, how do you find your life? Onnumilla sir, varma suffering da. He has got to have some enjoyment, but he has forgotten all that. The sorrow leaves a very bad, bitter taste with you. One sorrow will remain in your mind for 10 years. 100 joys will leave you. As soon as the joy is over, you forget about it. So, one bitterness you keep all your life. Such and such a person has spoken to me like this. They must have spoken all good things also. You forget all that. You remember that bitterness. Similarly, in the life as a whole, as it is experienced by a normal person, it is Dukkhalaya. It is an abode of sorrow. People remember only life as a sorrow. So, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. And life is short. Life is never long for anyone. So, people just think, oh, we have just started our life, and they are struggling to build up a career, struggling to build up a bank account, struggling to build up a good name in society. By the time they have established some good name, they find all their hairs have become white. So they are already become old. Then as the child said, Tata, I never told her I am Tata. Looked at me and she said, this must be Tata. See how the child knows? Just looking at that, nobody taught her. So we all become Tatas like that. That means we have left the life behind. We are on the wrong side of life, as they say in English. All we are struggling and we are just trying to do something. By the time something is achieved, life itself is gone. This is called the temporariness of life. Ashashvatam. Shashvat means tomorrow. Ashashvatam, we cannot be sure about tomorrow also. After you become old, you do not know. Some people say, how is your grandfather? Swami is all right, but when he is all right and when he is not all right, it is difficult to say. Morning he is all right, in the afternoon he is not all right. In the evening he says he is all right, night again he is in serious condition. This is the condition of life. Ashashvatam. It is impermanent, temporary, changing. This changingness itself is the cause of unhappiness. Anything that goes on changing, like your stock market, if you have got some balance in the bank, you are safe. When you put some money into stock market, you are always in trouble. When it will go, when it will come down, when you will lose, nobody knows. One gentleman, who was a very rich person, well known to us, he went to Kailas Yatra some years back. By the time he finished Kailas Yatra in 15 days, went back to Malaysia, he found all his bank balance has gone away. Bank, it was share market. He put all his money there. He was not there aware. For 15 days he was away. Whole thing was gone. He became a Diwali, a pauper. So with that one, how can you be happy? So this Ashashvata, that which is changing, it always causes you anxiety. Life is like that. Life is full of anxieties. It is changing. So Ashashvatam, changing, and Dukkhalayam, the abode of sorrow. Such is the rebirth. Rebirth means every birth is full of sorrow, full of temporariness and therefore anxiety. Such a life, mamupetya na apnuvanti. The greatest advantage of a person who has attained to me is he will no more get into such a state. No more, never. Nobody, even God himself cannot send him back. Go and take a rebirth. No, you cannot. So I am one with you, I will be with you only. So he has got an infinite joy, infinite power, infinite freedom and infinite love. So he is in the ocean of infinity, of everything. So he has no trace of dukkha, sorrow, or the temporariness. Everything is permanent with him. Everything is infinite, everything is unchanging. So they attain to that state. They don't get into the rebirth, which is full of sorrow and temporariness. So such are these Mahatmas, these yogis that meditate upon me little by little and increase slowly all their life, and in the end, even when they leave their body, they think about me and become one with me. When once they become one with me, they are free forever from these anxieties or sorrows of rebirth. Why don't again they come into the world and take rebirth? Sri Krishna gives the reason. Yataha samsiddhim paramangataha. Because they have attained to the highest perfection. Perfection means they have gone beyond the dualities. A perfect person, he has neither attachment nor love. He is there. He is neither attracted to somebody nor he hates anybody. He is free with everyone, like a child. A child is neither attached nor detached. It can go and get itself attached to anyone. Then it looks another one person, so he leaves him and goes away there. So it does not mean that he did not like him. So he took a love for him. So 2 minutes afterwards he goes to another, a child is free, all over he can go. Everyone also loves him and he also loves everyone. Like that, a person who has realized God, so he samsiddhim paramam gata. Samsiddhi is perfection. Perfection means freedom from ego, freedom from likes and dislikes, freedom from all fears and anxieties. So this person, he has attained to that state. So when there is no desire at all for him, we come into this world with desires. Good and bad, both are desires. I want to hurt somebody, that also is a desire only, bad desire. So I want to go and help somebody, that also is a desire, good desire. But desire is a desire. If you have a good desire also, you must have a body, you must have a position in society, then only you can do something good. To bad also you must belong to some bad company, some bad association will be there, or bad committee will be there, you become member of that one. Then you start doing bad things. For everything, good to do good or to do bad, the field is this world. So we require a body and mind. This is called taking a rebirth. So rebirth is possible only when we have desires. So the man of realization, samsiddhim paramam gata. Paramam samsiddhim gata. They have attained to the highest perfection where there is nothing to love or nothing to hate. So everything is there inside themselves. There is nothing. We love something because we don't have it. So until we get it, we love. So I must have. When you get that thing, the love for that one goes away. You may have a love for something else, but love for that particular object goes away when you attain to it. So a man of knowledge gets everything. God is everything. So he has got God himself. Then he has attained to everything. He has nothing for him to desire. Nothing to desire, nothing to hate also. I don't want it. There is nothing to be given up. Why do you want to give up? If you think that something is not likable to you, then you say, I want to give it up. Everything is yours. God is yours and God is everything. So everything is likable. Everything is lovable. Nothing to give up. So the whole thing is a state of perfection. He attains to this supreme perfection where he is beyond likes and dislikes. He is beyond his individuality. He loves everybody and everyone loves him in the state of his moksha. So why does he leave that moksha and come to this world? He has no desire at all. When you don't have anything to purchase, will you go to the bazaar, spending the petrol charge, taking out your car, taking all the trouble and going into this crowd? If you don't go and dash also, others will come and dash against you. With taking all these risks, why do you go onto the street? You will not go unless there is an urgency there, some need. Without need, nobody will go into the dangerous market. Similarly, this world, suppose I don't feel some liking, I want to go and do something, or I want to go and punish somebody there. If you don't have raga and dvesha, desire and dislike, then you don't come to the world. So the man of realization has neither desire nor dislike. He does not come here. He is perfectly happy in his own house. So, samsiddhim paramam gataha mahatmanaha dukkhalayam ashashvatam punarjanma na apnavanti. Such great people who have attained to this highest perfection by attaining to me, they have no desire at all. Therefore, they don't, because of their no desire, they don't come to this world at all for rebirth. Because rebirth means again getting into this world where the dualities are there. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, perfect person is like that luchi, puri, we have put into the ghee. and it has got completely fried. So there is no sound at all. Everything is silent. But then again, some water you put into that ghee, then again there is sizzling sound is coming there because there is water there. So this water is this karma of desire. So when the desires are there, so much of commotion is there. And all the desires go away, there is no sound at all. Everything is calm. Desireless person has no problem at all in this world also. When the desire comes, it is like wetness. If the wetness is there in the puri, then it goes on sizzling. When all that wetness goes away, puri is completely baked, there is no sound at all. In our times, they used to melt this butter and make ghee. They never purchased ghee. They always purchased butter. And then butter was made into ghee. So all of us knew ghee means from out of butter they has been made, it is homemade. So we used to observe that is making so much of sound, like that when it is being boiled. After some time the whole thing has become silent. What has happened? Has it stopped? No, it is there on the heat. But all the water has gone away. So it is silent like that. So it has become ghee. The whole butter has become ghee. No sound, nothing whatsoever. That is the perfect state. Sri Ramakrishna gives this example. When there is water inside the butter, it goes on making sound. When all the water, impurities goes away, a perfect ghee will not make any sound. Again if you put a luchi into it, a puri into it, it will again start sizzling because there is a water in that puri. It wants to drive it out. So again there is commotion. When the great people, they take birth for the good of others. Vivekananda came to this world. He did not have any karma. He didn't want to do anything good or bad. He was there happily meditating there in the 7th Saptarshi Loka. This Sri Ramakrishna went and called him. I am going there, you also come. What can he do? So all that he came, all the world. Then he suffered for all the 40 years. Less than 40 years lived. Every day was suffering for him. Suffering for what? Not for himself. Suffering for the sake of others. So Swamiji always said, someone accused him of jealousy. You are jealous of me. One of his disciples told him. He said, Nivedita, I must have been born with any other defect. Jealousy I did not have from my very birth. Because jealousy comes to those people who have not achieved and who are unable to achieve. Such people only are jealous. Somebody has got a promotion in my next door. I did not get, then jealousy will come. Then suppose you also get promotion, then jealousy will go away until he gets another promotion. So, but suppose whenever he gets a promotion, you also get promotion, you never get jealousy. So there must be somebody higher or lower, then the jealousy will come. And when you are unable to achieve, jealousy is more. So Swamiji said, there was nothing that I could not achieve. Anything that I took, I achieved. I went to university, I was the first. As an orator, I was the first. As an athlete, I was the first. As a swimmer, I was the first. As a horse rider, I was the first. As a scholar, I was the first. As a saint, I was the first. I went to Sri Ramakrishna. All the disciples, Sri Ramakrishna would put them on one side. They would look to Narendra on the other side. Other people used to complain, why? You are not looking to always telling Narendra. Wait, I will come to you also. Sri Ramakrishna himself put him in the first place. That is the way Roman Roland, he wrote about Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda wanted to hide his greatness. He did not want to reveal that he was a great person. But the moment anybody saw him, immediately they knew he is the greatest person. He would not want, he wanted to hide himself. More he tried to hide, more he will get revealed. And he gives an example. He was going in the top heights of Himalayas all alone with a ragged cloth. So he is moving about like a itinerant monk. There one shepherd saw him from a distance. As soon as he saw him, Shiva, Shiva, he shouted. Who told him he is Shiva? Just like that, if you see that figure, you must say it is Shiva. There is nobody else. In Himalayas at that height, Swamiji is standing there. And the shepherd immediately shouts, Shiva, Shiva. And Romarola says, he could not hide. Swamiji was staying in a hotel in France. in Paris. So the hotel chauffeur used to come and serve him many things. So whenever he used to come and serve something, then Swamiji out of courtesy used to say, thank you, thank you. Then when he used to serve, that chauffeur always used to say, Maharaja, I have brought this tea for you. Maharaja, I have brought this sandwich for you. So when Swamiji heard Maharaja, Maharaja, once he got annoyed. I am not a Maharaja. Then that chauffeur says, sir, when I see one, I can recognize one. See, nobody tells him, but he says, I can recognize Mahatma, you are the one. So this is the glory of a person who has realized, it is written on his face, he is the realized person. So for him, he has attained to the highest perfection. This highest perfection makes him a very lovable being. So he dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti. They do not come to this world again, because the world belongs to those people who have got likes and dislikes to be fulfilled. So when no likes and dislikes are there, when we go beyond the karma by our meditation, by our japa, by our spiritual practice, by the grace of our God, so we get beyond the karma. The karma is all taken away by God. We offer the karma and its fruits to God every day. Therefore, we don't acquire any karma at all. So at the end of life, we only say, oh Lord, I have done your work. All the good and bad I have offered to you. I don't have any balance at all. All right, you are free. So this is how we get into a state of perfection. When once the desires are not there, just when I have no desire, I don't go to bazaar. Similarly, I don't come to this bazaar of this world. Sri Ramakrishna compared this world to bazaar only. So in this bazaar we have come to fulfill certain duties. That means to do some purchases. When that is over, we have to go back to our home. Which is that home? God is our home. So we come here to learn there is nothing in this world. To come and see and to know that there is nothing is the purpose of our life. To develop love for God and dispassion for the world. There is nothing in this world. Oh God, you are the only person to be loved here. If this knowledge comes, that is real knowledge. The real knowledge is to know that there is nothing in this world to be loved except God. But it will not come in one day. I love a thing and that proves it is not worth that love. Then I will not leave that loving itself. This is not there. Another thing, that is better. We will go and love that. So you go to that. That also after some time, it is also useless, almost like that. I thought it was better, perhaps it is worse. Then you leave it, go to the third. After trying half a dozen things, everything in this world is useless. You should not love anything of these worldly things. God alone is the thing to be loved. When we come to this conclusion, we have learned the lesson we have to learn in this life. In this life, more we work, more we move about in society, more we serve the society. The object must be not to get name or fame or a bloated ego. The object must be to know that God is doing, He is running this whole world. We are all, each one of us, are instruments in His hands. He is getting it done through us. When once this idea comes to us, we can be in the world, but we will not be of the world. We are in the world. I do my duty to my father, duty to my sister, duty to my society, but I never feel I am doing God's world. He is doing it through every one of us. All of you are mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters are there. You are doing your duties. It is not that you are doing your duties, you are made to do your duties by God. Why do you do your duties? You get attracted to your brother or sister or the other family members. Who has given this attraction? God Himself has created. To run His world, He has created this love of father and mother for the children, children's love for the parents, and the ordinary person's love for the society. All these things are there inside his mind. Who operates him from inside the mind? God Himself is sitting in the heart of everyone. He prompts us, He promotes us to go and do this, such and such a thing. God prompts us to do good things and we do good things. Sometimes He gets done things in a very difficult way also. That is His will. So He is running the whole universe. The whole universe is like a machine. God is like the electricity running through that. It is that one electricity that runs the whole machine. There may be hundreds of parts of it. One is going up, one is going down, and one is standing there just without moving. All this happens because of that power behind it. Put off the power, all the movement will stop. Only one is there. Many are working here. All these many belong to only that one. That one is making all the parts in the whole, the factory run. In the olden factories, we used to go and see sugar factories. Whole 3-story building is there. At different levels, something is being crushed, something is boiled, something is dried up. All this is happening. How is it happening? There is one big wheel is going on. That's called the flywheel. Flywheel of the factory. Oh, goes on 24 hours rotating. It does not do anything. Goes on rotating. What is this? This does not do. This neither crushes the juice, neither does it dry it, neither make it into grains, neither does it pack. It does not do anything. Only goes on, it is rotating. But that is behind the whole factory. Everything is being done in the factory because of the flywheel. Stop this, whole factory will stop. God is that flywheel. Somebody said, what is this Swami going on repeating name? Same Om Narayana, Om Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha. What is going on repeating the same name? That is the flywheel. Don't touch there. If you stop that, the whole thing will stop. Om Namah Shivaya is the flywheel. Go on repeating it. When this flywheel goes on, you will control the whole universe. Everything is controlled by this one flywheel. That is the name of God, God Himself. When we realize this, that this whole universe is run by a very, very infinitely conscious being, infinitely intelligent being, infinitely loving being, that is God. We have learnt what we have to learn. That is the lesson of life. God is there behind everybody. So we have nothing to be afraid of anyone. Because if anyone has to come and do bad to me also, behind him there is the will of God. If God does not want him to come and hurt me, he cannot come and hurt. In the great people's life we see this. Brahmananda Swami was there in Bhuvaneshwar. He was walking along in the Bhuvaneshwar, in our ashram in Bhuvaneshwar. It is a huge area. At that time it was full of forest. Sometimes tigers also used to come there. One day he was walking along with his disciples. Suddenly a tiger appeared there. If others were there, they would turn their back and start running. So Brahmananda Swami did not move at all. He just looked at the tiger, just was standing there. And the disciples were also, did not know what to do, how to protect their guru. Some of them, one or two of them, tried to go in front of him. He just pushed them behind like that. And then he stood all alone, looking, staring at the tiger. The tiger also looked at some time, and then he said, it is not good to go to this man. He is more powerful than us. It just went away. You see, a bad animal also cannot do anything bad to you, because inside it, the Lord Himself is there. He must get the permission of that Lord, then only He can do anything. If we realize this truth, good or bad or anything that should happen to you is happening by the will of God. You don't have to go and attack the bad man. Let the bad man come and do bad if he can. I will go on praying to my God. You give me protection. When the Lord protects you, nobody can hurt you. It has happened thousands of times in the lives of saints, in the life of ordinary people also. They thought, oh, we will be destroyed. No destruction takes place unless the Lord wills it. The strong faith in God, that He is behind the whole machinery of this universe. We need not be afraid of anything. Pray to Him. And prayer is the most powerful instrument that God has given us. You call on God, tell Him your difficulties, open your heart. You will certainly, He will listen to you. He will do the needful. This is Sri Ramakrishna's greatest message for the age. You have got an invincible instrument in you, which you can use against any of your difficulties. Pray to God, turn to God for help. Pray to Him with a sincere heart. Open your heart to Him. And Sri Ramakrishna says He hears the prayers of sinner also as He hears the prayer of a saint. God doesn't have a saint or a sinner. We have saints and sinners. All of us, we identify everybody. Oh, so-and-so is good, so-and-so is bad. How do you know? She does not know herself, or he does not himself whether he is good or bad. He judges everybody as good and bad. Everything is wrong. For God, all of us are His children. Therefore, there is no saint, there is no sinner. Pray to God as your own Father. He is certainly going to listen to you. And He will do the best needful in the circumstances. And you will be safe in His hand. And whatever He does, know for certain it is for your good. Maybe sometimes He may not do what I expect. But many times we expect something which are almost impossible. In Madras city, since 3 days rain is pouring. So most of the Madrasi residents, they say, why should this rain come? So this rain should not be there. But there are hundreds of field people who are working in the field. They have put the seeds into the ground to grow vegetables, to grow something. They are all praising the rains. At last you have come. They are dancing about there. But here in Madras, they are cursing this rain. Whether the curse is true or the blessing is true, who can say? It is doing good there, it is not doing that good here. But both of them are simultaneously happening. Suppose he wants to listen to the prayer of only the Madras residents. Those people will go without their vegetable. Suppose he obliges them, these people go on cursing him. What is this? We had our go to the wedding ceremony, we could not go because of this rain. As if you were going to the wedding ceremony, he is going to help the whole universe. At least his vegetable is going to help even the animals also. So this is how our prayers are. Many times our prayers are contradiction to one another. We think we are the only person who are praying. There are now 1200 billion people in this world. 1200 billion prayers. How to make it one? Nobody can oblige everybody's prayer. But he knows whosoever is the prayer is for welfare of everyone, he obliges them. Those fellows who are selfish in their own, let them learn how to pray. Afterwards we shall listen to them. Children go on telling, Amma and the kati and kuduma. A child wants a knife. Will you give that knife? But it's very anxious to take it. Amma is using, Anna is using, why should I not use a knife? But they have learned how to use it. First learn how to stand on your feet. Afterwards learn how to use your balapam, your pencil, your book. Afterwards you will get the knife. This is how God waits. He listens to our prayers. He waits. Let these fellows become a little wise. Let them pray in the right way. Then we will oblige. God waits, but He sees. He sees our difficulty. He knows that He has to oblige us. So we have to pray and wait. Watch and wait. Patience is one of the very important character we have to develop, even in spiritual life. We pray, immediately we cannot expect anything. It will happen. Just like you sow a seed, you don't get your tree next day morning. Maybe next 10 years also you may not get certain plants. Only after 15 years you will get a small sapling. After 50 years it grows into a big one. Formerly elders used to say, why do you plant these coconut trees? You are not going to eat the fruits of that. Because in those times 40 years it used to take. 40 years who will live? Most of them would not be there. At that time average age was 50 or 51. So he is sowing it when he is 20-year-old. So he will be 60. Before it yields fruit, he is no more. This was the conviction at that time. Now there are hybrid varieties. In 10 years, in 5 years you get coconuts. This is a different age. So we have to pray and wait. For praying, we must have that faith in God. And God is the power that runs the whole universe. And this is the great fact we have to get as a realization. What we will have to learn in this world is not IT technology or how to make money, how to become overnight billionaire. These are all maybe there, but they are of no use. The real thing we have to learn in this life that will help us in our eternal journey is that God is there, we belong to Him, and we shall go and become one with Him. Never more come here and suffer. At least never more come here as ignorant people. Let us come like a Vivekananda. Let us come like a Buddha. Let us come like a Ramakrishna or a Holy Mother Sharda Devi. They came here. They never suffered. They knew everything. All what will happen tomorrow, they knew. What will happen 15 years afterward, they knew. They were not anxious at all. Let us come to the world, but not like ignorant fools as we are now. Every day is an anxious day for us. Oh, what will happen? Then what will happen to you afterwards? What will happen to my child? What will happen to my grandson? There is no end to your worry. It is worthless to come into this world with such ignorance. So that is why come to the world, but not before attaining to God. Sri Ramakrishna's another statement. He said, get into the world, there is nothing wrong. But after getting bhakti, he said, develop love for God. Know that God is running this whole world. He is behind you also. So He is always protecting you, He is protecting everyone. Have this firm conviction through devotion. Then enter into the world. Then become a householder. Then beget children. Then bring them up. You will not be moved too much away from the thought of God. Because already you are cultivated. You are holding on to a pillar and going around and round, you will not fall. This Sri Ramakrishna's principle is the thing to be learnt in our life. So here he says, to attaining perfection to the highest, they don't come to this world. That means attaining to perfection means getting beyond all likes and dislikes. No like, no dislike. I don't want to do either good or bad. God is doing everything. So I need not so much bother my head about it. When you think like that, you say, I will not leave this abode of God at all. You will be ever with God. Therefore, there is no rebirth for them. So this is the argument that Gita gives, that one attains by realizing me to a state where there is no more sorrow for them, for all eternity, unless they themselves want to come and help others who are in difficulty. That is the joy. People, all the great people like Vivekananda, they come and suffer in this world because it is joy for them. It is like a suffering on the stage. There are tragic actors are there. They come and they weep like anything on the stage. The whole audience is also weeping. Such is their acting. Tremendous feeling they generate in the whole audience. Whole audience is weeping once upon a time. Nowadays the audience, they look to so many pictures on the TV, out of the TV, in every hall. Nobody, all have lost every emotion. Nobody weeps. And perhaps then they have to weep, they are laughing. Somebody is killing somebody, bahut acha kiya. So they are enjoying. It is the reverse. But when we were young, there were not so much of dramas. Only one in a month or 2 months, good dramas parents used to go. When you would see, you would feel one with it. If Rama comes, we all used to keep with great, oh Rama, Jai Ramchandra. There was a Venkateshwara film when I was a young boy. We all went to that Venkateshwara film. When the Balaji used to come, Balaji, Govinda, Govinda, the whole audience would get up. It was very difficult to make them sit again. Until that Govinda goes away, they will not sit at all. Because Govinda is standing, how can he be sitting? So realistic, so much feeling was there. The feeling of that God is there, this must come into us. So that is the real lesson we have to learn, and that we can learn by slowly practicing. Thinking about God by repeating His name through japa, through contemplation, increasing the time little by little, so that by the time we come to the end of our life, we must be able to remember Him always. When we remember Him always, then we don't come back to this world of sorrow and temporariness again anymore, involuntarily. So this is a great achievement, greatest achievement. So afterwards, when he says that you have to come back here otherwise, so he says all the other worlds other than me, all have to be coming again and again. All the worlds are created, they sustain for some time, they again go back into the unmanifest state. Only my place, the place of God, that one remains unchanged. God alone is the one who does not change. So you come and reach me, there is no question of rebirth to you. The whole universe, including Brahma downwards, all will come back. You will not come back because you have gone beyond Brahma also, beyond the Creator also, the highest state of perfection. So we will take up the next topic in our next class. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्.